So good people, today I'm taking advantage and recording because I have so much to say, and as I told you, my house is not that conducive because by the time I start this I'll hear mommy this, mommy that, I'm on holiday, a long holiday, and we're opening somewhere towards September, and I just want to do as much as I can to empty myself. There are some things that I've always wanted to share, but this video is I'm actually, it's a follow-up of the first video that I did about middle child syndrome. And let me tell you, there are syndromes that can be connected to any birth order. You find that some firstborns suffer some syndrome, being the deputy parents. They feel over responsible. They feel like it's too much for them. I remember when I was growing up, I didn't need to worry about cleaning the house or doing stuff because I knew someone would have to come and be asked, but not me. Also, being in the middle is a safer place. Okay, so you find also the firstborns also go through their stuff, and I would just like to speak to that person probably who might not have a parent to come back and redo and undo the things that were done while growing up. I want to let you know that your identity is not, it's not really in your birth order. It's not where, it's not at what position you came into this world, in the position you hold in the family. If there is a question I've always prayed that interviewers will not ask me is, now tell us, who is Mildred? You know, when I'm looking for jobs and I've been invited for an interview, if there's something I will research and think about and worry about responding to is that question of, tell us, who is Mildred? Well, probably I'm doing better right now because I have found identity, and the best identity is in who you are and who God intended you to be. And the challenge is always in, how do I get to know who I am? Because in most cases there have to be people who've gone ahead of you, who might discover something in you and call it forth, and bring it forth and tell you there's something in you that you need to work on. Some people are not lucky to have mentors, people who can, pull out their gifting, their talents, their abilities. And we have now some of us probably we can all only identify ourselves as our careers. I am a teacher, Mildred is a teacher, or maybe I'm a wife. But there are women who die with just this one identity: I am the wife of so and so. Go to the village, my name is Jane, of one husband. This one is, a husband being married is good, but our identity is not in husbands. Our identity is not in the children we've given birth to. Our identity is not in our careers. Our identity is in that thing that God put in us. That purpose. That reason why He created you. That reason why you are still alive. I remember my mother telling me that she gave her life to Christ when I was very sick, and she thought I couldn't make it. And that was the time that God spoke to her and she gave her life to Christ. See, when I think I was about maybe 6 months. And because of me, my mother was able to receive the love of Christ, and she has loved God all her life ever since. She has served God. sins. I may have thought I am as good as a vegetable because I was a sickly child. But no, God used me to bring my mother to himself. Okay? So let us not allow our identity to be in who is doing better than us. In this life, we are not in a competition. I love it when I'm driving and someone is really trying to overtake me, and I easily let them overtake, because we are not going to the same place. Our destination is not the same. You know, I usually say this life is not a competition. Let those who want to overtake, overtake. And I am not in comparison. I mean, my existence, I am not in comparison with another. If there's something I hate to date, it is anyone who tries to compare me with another, because I am not that other person. I am Mildred. And when God taught me to know who I am, it was through a lot of reading books, watching, messages from anointed servants of God, people who have insight about identity. Miles Monroe was one of those people that I used to follow. I defend my personality. What I do mostly is I work to be the best that God made. Okay? There's a saying that when you enter into a room, you don't enter thinking that you are better than everybody else. Enter into a room thinking that you're the best in what you do, that you're the best in what you are meant to do. If we can, even in marriages, realize and discover our positions, then we will not have issues, because everybody keeps to their lane and becomes the best that they are meant to be in that marriage, in that home. For example, in my mother's house, we are 5 of us, and by the way, we are all gifted differently. I happen to be the most talkative, and in most events I'll be told, please take the MC position, just MC this occasion. And we are all different. My siblings are gifted differently, and when we come together and everybody is taking their position, we have an amazing home. You really want to be in our family gatherings because they're amazing, and it is my prayer that we get to that point where we realize that we are not in a competition with anyone. The book of John 15:16 says, you did not choose me. That now I'm bringing the Bible into this. You did not choose me. This is, Jesus Christ speaking. But I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide, so that whatever you ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. Now look, you did not choose your birth position. You did not choose into which home you were born. God chose all these things for you. And you did not choose to belong to him. He chose these for you. If there's something I love about this scripture, is that mimi kwa Mungu sijipendekezi. Like, I'm not forcing myself to the Lord because he chose me. That knowledge is very powerful. But he chose me for a purpose. Number one, he chose me and appointed me that I should go and bear fruit. Now remember, in the very position you're in, In the race that you found yourself born in, whether you're Asian, African, whether you are Caucasian, white, whatever you call it, God chose to allow you, to let you be born in that situation so that you may bear fruit there. Now, probably I wouldn't have borne better fruit than I am doing right now if I was the firstborn or the lastborn. The position that I came into this world is a perfect place according to God. And he says the reason why it is he allowed you into that position, into where you are, because he says he chose you and he appointed you so that you may bear fruit. Now know that your reason for existence is so that you can bear fruit. So no matter where you are, whether you are in the pit like Joseph in the Bible was, you know, his brothers put him there, but he was pulled out into his greatness. God can pull you out from wherever you are. All he wants is the right attitude for us to be willing and obedient. You know, we have to be willing to be used of God in whatever position we find ourselves in. Let God know that you are willing. Let God know that you're obedient. Do not let the disadvantages you find yourself in carry you off God's track, because God has a track for your life. Right now, the challenges you're going through will make you stronger, will make you better, will also, you know, allow you to be in that position like I am right now, encouraging you, encouraging another person, and telling them you are what God made you, intended you to be. And the hardest thing to be in this life is to be someone else. That person you're looking up to is not what God wanted you to be. You're the best version, you're the masterpiece. On Saturday, I was sharing and reminding my friends that the person you want to change and become, the person you really, let's say the person you are today, is a prayer point for another person. Someone who is saying, God, would you please bless me the way you have blessed Mildred? And Mildred is busy complaining. Mildred is busy feeling like, I want to be like someone else. Let us begin from a thanksgiving point of view, where we thank God for who we are, because there's another person who is looking up to us. There's another person who is looking up to our strength, up to what we are right now. Let us be thankful. There are things in this life we cannot choose. And though as a parent we may want to satisfy every child, we are limited. We are limited in the fact that we are humans. Yeah? And we just need to know that the only perfection we can ever achieve is from the Lord. We are the righteousness of God. Let our identity be in the Lord, in what God made us to be. Identify who you are. Identify your talents. Identify what you can do best. Imagine there is that thing that you do so easily. Please do it and be consistent at it. And you become great. You become excellent. Many people will look up to you. Become a man and a woman of influence. I don't know if I'm speaking to anyone. this afternoon. But I bless the Lord that I have this opportunity to let it out and let you know that we are not where we are finding ourselves right now. We are not our birth positions. We are not that village we find ourselves in. We are not that slum that we have found ourselves in. We are not where we are right now. There's something bigger in us. Remember, still in the book of John 15, let's look at verse 5. I am the vine, you are the branches. Imagine this is Jesus saying he's the vine. As him being our God is a vine, we are connected to such a powerful God. We are the branches. My goodness, this is powerful. We are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. So we are attached to God. And when we are well attached to him, we can bear much fruit. Okay? Let's not attach ourselves to our families, to our races, to, to our careers. Let us be attached in the Lord. That way we will bear fruits. Okay? So I'll keep talking about this because I really, really have so much. Probably the reason why God allowed me to go through identity crisis, so that I can become a blessing to someone. So I want you to follow me on YouTube, and please like, subscribe, share. Let's share this message with someone else. Let this message become a blessing to someone else. Feel free to ask questions. Not that I've become an expert, but I know as I share my life, I'll become a blessing to someone. As I share my life, someone will identify. I've received lots of testimonies upon testimonies about people who are being changed, people who are being transformed. I may not be doing it in a big way. I want it to be natural. I want it to be, to come from the heart. And I just want us to connect in this way. Imperfect people growing into perfection together.